I did not like this week's episode of Dragon Ball DAIMA. Let me tell you why. Heyo everybody, welcome back to another Dragon Ball DAIMA review, this being for episode 13 here. So, let's talk about it, right? Let's talk. So, first things first, this episode is really broken down into, I kid you not, 2 sections. The first section is a little bit of a reaction from Goma. And his plan here, which can be summarized immediately in shut down Warp Sama. We'll talk about that in a minute. And the second is this whole exploration of the world of Megath. Megath, I believe is how you pronounce the planet, with Megas who live there. Let's talk about why I didn't like the episode. I'm not really going to give a summary as I usually do and break down each individual part this time, because there's only 2, and I really just want to talk about my overall opinion on the thing, right? So, I do not like what they did with this episode. I said that as we started the video off, and I'm going to explain exactly why I don't like it. This, in a 20-episode series, this entire episode, minus the first scene, feels like filler. And you don't want that in a 20-episode series. So, let's break down exactly why I don't like them making this basically a filler episode. And I do understand that sometimes you do need a more laid-back episode, not as much action, to calm down after big stuff like we just saw with Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta 2 weeks ago. But to have a week break and then come back with this is just a double whammy of not good decision making, in my opinion. There are ways to handle non-action sequences without making the episode feel like filler, and it's not the first time DAIMA's done this, but usually when they do, it's more like half the episode, maybe a little more than that, and there's some stuff going on in the background. Like, while Goku and Ko weren't doing much, we were getting Majin Ku for the first time. We saw Aryan Su's plans starting to go off, things like that. We do not get that here. So, first issue, immediately, is that they once again play this stupid intro scene of introducing Goku and everything he does. And, he went on a story with his friends, and he grew up, and here he is now. I hate that. I'm going to tell you why. It's a whole minute, pretty much, about 50 seconds or more of this intro. And they choose to do it when they want to. Some episodes don't have it. Some episodes are instead just right into the episode. They cut it to give us more screen time. Other times they put it in to take up screen time, and that's exactly what's happening here. It's just, I already see it, and I know they're running the clock, but okay. Then we get the intro. Sure, the intro's gonna happen. I do not think they should skip the intro. Some anime do when they just need the time. I love the intros. Then they give us a flashback of Goma tweaking like he did last week. Do you know how long it took for all 3 of those things to happen? It took 3 minutes. 3 minutes of our 23, almost 24-minute runtime, which is also taken up by the outro and the preview, by the way, and the mid-credit. We've wasted on all this introductory stuff. So you already knew they were running the clock in this episode, let's be real. Then we do open up nicely. But all we just have is Goma starts tweaking and says, we gotta disable Warp Sama. Then Degasu says, well, I've never heard of anyone disabling Warp Sama before. And dude says, I don't care, figure it out. Next scene, so what do we think? Maybe we get Degasu studying some of the lore and finding a way to shut down Warp Sama. Maybe he has to contact someone very old or very wise to get some information. Something like that, right? No. Instead, Degasu is immediately, I kid you not, there is no pause, immediately going down a staircase to some ancient-looking room that apparently he knew of the whole time, using magic to unlock a hidden area where there is a lever. A lever. Just a straight-up lever, which if you pull it down, shuts down Warp Sama. That's it. And Warp Sama shuts down. What was the point of the scene where he just said he never heard of anyone doing that before? Now, there's a potential that he just meant that it's, not that it can't be done, but that it's never been done. But from how the king responds, let me go make sure about this with Goma. How Goma responds to it, to me, implies that they didn't know. So, he said, shut up, just get it done. So, even if I can benefit the doubt and say that, okay, they knew how to, they just never heard of anyone doing it before, it's taboo, I still find that a bit weird for what Goma's done. Like, oh my god, shit on Warp Sama, so bad. I don't get it. And then, yeah. So, anyway, he gets shut down. We're about 4 minutes in the episode, and the rest of it is, again, filler content. You could have fooled me and said this was an episode of One Piece, and I love One Piece. This is not a stray. I love One Piece very, very much, but you know One Piece's anime is notorious for filler, and they drop it even in the midst of awesome action sometimes. It's just how they done it in the past. So this rest of the episode feels like filler, and I know it's not. There's no actual filler in this show, as far as I understand. But what I mean by filler is that it's content that is just there to be there. It's not accomplishing anything. In short, the group crashes on this planet of the Megas, which is these giant creatures, and they got to fix their ship again. They just fixed the engine. Here we go. How many times have we dealt with the broken ship plot? 5? 5 times we've got the broken ship plot as an excuse to go look around an area. It's getting old fast. It's getting old fast. And so they start exploring this place, which is sick. It's cool. It's another bit of Demon World exploration, except it amounts to nothing in the consequences. We get to see some cool things. We get to see this giant area. It looks great. Great art of DAIMA. We get to see what the Megas look like and their animals, like little hamsters that run around. They're as big as the people. A dog that they're having a fight with. The child Mega himself and some of them. The point that I'm trying to make, though, is it accomplishes nothing for the good of the series. Unless these guys end up being useful later, which may happen, but even then, it didn't need a whole episode. They could have just introduced them, and we could have kept it going. We do get a little bit of lore of, hey, here's how the ship flies. There's this lore here. It's just a world-building episode, but none of this feels like it's going to amount to much in the sake of the main plot. And this could age poorly, and, you know, who knows? Maybe this planet becomes mega important. Pun not intended. But it hasn't so far. And then we get to the second biggest issue I have with DAIMA, and they've done this multiple times. And now that I've seen this for at least the 3rd time, if not more, I want to address it just openly. And I'm getting kind of tired of it. Drama for the sake of drama. What people were worried about when they started to watch this series, or when they heard it coming, when they heard people being turned into children, when they saw the art style, any of that, what people were worried about fairly was this show was going to be childish. It was going to turn people off of Dragon Ball. And I can say that while I generally believe that claim is wrong, there are parts that do validate those people. And if you love DAIMA, that's great. I love DAIMA. But we got to call a spade. Don't just get defensive because you like the series. People who don't like DAIMA, who actually watch DAIMA and don't like it, they have a fair ground too. I've seen a number of people who comment here that keep up with it and are just not interested in DAIMA, or didn't like a certain part of it, or fell off with it. I don't hate. I like DAIMA, and I disagree, but you got to understand there's reasons that people have dislikes, not just hating on DAIMA all the time. If they have a fair reason for it, respect that. And in this case, I think a fair criticism is sometimes the show is childish in the sense of something I notice in cartoons a lot. Drama for the sake of drama. What do I mean by that? We turn a low-intensity scene into something high-intensity so we can have cool animation or show things off or make it feel like there's drama and tension when there really isn't. Let me name the 2 previous instances of this that immediately come to mind. The Dragon Ball getting stolen the night that Goku, Glorio, and Pansy are at the hotel. They're fighting these 2 goons. They're fighting these 2 goons, trying to get the Dragon Ball back. It's amounting to this long fight scene for no reason, given that Goku can easily just body them and take it back, and instead we're playing this out like they are any real challenge to Goku at all. Then, second, the Kraken is about to eat Pansy. Goku is reaching for her, they're about to get eaten. It's as if lately, for the sake of building tension, they have made it Goku forget he can use instant transmission. This has been a plot device twice now, and I'm getting tired of it. Because they show him use it to get out of a dangerous situation with the Gendarmerie earlier in the series. And after that, they just pretend like Goku's forgotten how to IT. They never said, and I'm going to give GT points for this. GT wanted drama for the sake of drama. What did they do? They took away IT from Goku. They made it so he couldn't use it effectively. All of a sudden, we have some drama. Now, I'm not going to say that's a great decision, but it's far better than having him have it, using it when you find it convenient, and then forgetting about it when he doesn't have it. He could have used it to save her from the Kraken easily. He could have used it in this episode to save himself from being stuck in the Giant's clothes. or stuck in the dog's fur, or to move the people out of safety. It's been like this multiple times now. We got to fight a creature, and oh no, Goku's instant transmission would easily solve the problem. So instead of saying why he can't do it, we just pretend like he doesn't have it for drama. No one even questions it. Piccolo doesn't call out his transmission. Vegeta doesn't call out his transmission. We just pretend like he doesn't have it so we can make this cartoon episode of the small heroes fighting a dog. Big whoop. Okay? So after a 2-week wait, I didn't like this episode. I thought this was, I'm going to call this video probably Battle of Mid, because it really is a disappointment. They call it surprise. What am I surprised by? How ass this episode was? And you can watch my other reviews. If this is your first time seeing me, I'm sorry for negativity. You probably already clicked off seeing the negativity. I usually am not negative in these reviews in the slightest. I usually am hype out of my pants, man. I'm telling you. But you can go watch the other ones if you want some verification of that. But I do like to be fair. I like to be fair. And I'm certain some YouTubers are going to take the positive aspect in their reviews. In my case, I just want to call a spade a spade. I didn't like the episode. This is the first DAIMA episode I can say I straight up didn't like, because I don't like content that feels like it's just there for there. I don't like filler content, which is what this feels like in a show that doesn't have filler, which is a problem. It happens in series all the time, happens in anime, but I wouldn't even say all the time. I would not say all the time that it happens, but it does happen. It's not like DAIMA's the first and they've committed the gravest sin of all time, but I wouldn't have liked this episode normally if it came out last week. But this, after a week break on top, I'm not a fan of at all. I think it was a horrible choice. Horrible choice. Now, praises here in negativity. Not praises to counter the negativity, I should say. The art was on point. Despite it being a filler, you typically see with a filler, they tend to make these so they can animate the later episodes better, is a big use of filler or just slower content. This one, despite having multiple fight scenes, doesn't look bad at all. It doesn't look bad at all. Didn't find a point where I think the animation was lacking. I think they made it look really good. They clearly put some time into it, put some effort into it. That's cool. And I will give you that it's a unique fight scene. I just wish it was accomplishing something. If you kept the exact fight scenes the same and they were accomplishing something here, there was a real goal, sure. And I'm not counting fixing the ship for the 12th time. I'm not counting that. I'm not. Disagree entirely on that being a goal. So if they had been accomplishing something, I would have loved it even more. Final, though, as I say those complaints, animation was on point, visuals are on point. There's my positives. I have to then put it in a negative sandwich. I don't like how not only do they forget in transmission, but they save Super Saiyan in their back pocket for zero reason. Normal Super Saiyan does not run stamina like that. Not like 3 for sure. Not like 2. They hold Super Saiyan behind their back forever. And why is it this time? So Goku can do some dramatic transformation inside of his school bag, lift everything off, look so cool, while he's been getting throttled this whole episode by not going Super Saiyan. Again, it's like it's a transmission. They just save it to be dramatic. You know what does that? Cartoons. Cartoons do stuff like that. And that is, I mean, listen, I'm not saying that, oh, it's like a cartoon, so it's bad. But I'm saying those aren't things people even like in cartoons. That's something children bite on. You know, if you're 6 to 10, you're watching this, you're not thinking about anything like that. You're just seeing, oh, wow, Goku's swinging his power pole around, fighting a giant with a ruler, and he finally went Super Saiyan. Yes, jump out of my chair. But, you know, that appeals to very young children. I think there are going to be people who watch this that are in middle school, high school, still children, but they're going to get pissed. People like that react with filler in anime all the time. That's not good for DAIMA. These last 2 weeks, after coming off of such a peak, have been bad, but I'm going to have faith the next episode will be better. To bring this to an end, let's talk about the preview. It's called Taboo. So Taboo here shows like a new character eating something. Seems there's going to be an interesting individual appear. He's just chomping this. Seems kind of villainous. And from what we can understand, Goku is trying to go through the barrier between worlds. And he fails because Warp Zone is down. So he's trying to go through there. He seems to fail. He's falling. It does seem like the kind of scene where like an awakening or something crazy would happen. So let's have faith. I'm not switching up on DAIMA as a whole. Still love DAIMA. Just a bad episode. One I would genuinely like. I wouldn't say it's outright bad. If you like this episode, I'm not trying to argue with you. If you enjoyed it, you just wanted some fun, and you liked it, more power to you. This is just the episode I've liked the very least. So, that being said, thank you for listening to my opinions and my complaints. Next week, I hope I can be far, far more positive. But leave a like if you enjoyed, comment your thoughts down below, and of course subscribe if you want to see more. We are aiming for 400 subscribers as our next big goal, and would love for more of you to join the Voltage crew. You'll see a video recommended to you by YouTube on your screen right now, so go check that out if you want to see some more content from me. And otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Have a great rest of your nights, days, evenings, mornings, whatever times you're watching this, and I'll catch y'all next time. Voltage out.